Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So today we're going to look at whether or not you should add external links to your website. Now, this has been a topic of lots of controversy. Some people say you shouldn't add external links to your website, to authoritative website, because it makes no difference. And then you have John Mueller from Google who says that if you add external links to your website, it's probably not going to have an effect. But in 2020, there was, I think it was 2016, and the results showed that if you add external links to Wikipedia or other authoritative sources from your website or your web pages, those web pages perform better than if you had websites that didn't have external links. Now, the same test was repeated in 2020, and it showed that, yes, that is the case. It's still the case that if you have external links from your website to other websites, authoritative websites, it does add value. It does help you rank better as compared to not having those external links. But there are two questions here. The first being whether or not it still works. So that's the first question. The second question is, if you do add external links, should they be do follow or no followed or well sponsored? So obviously it's not going to be well sponsored, but it's probably a toss up between follow and no follow. So this video I'm going to look at why you should add external links, but not just go in and do it willy-nilly, because I'm seeing a lot of websites that are not doing so well because they have taken the old approach. They have added external links without really thinking through it. If that's what you have been doing, this video is for you. Also, if you're starting a new website, you shouldn't just go and start adding external links. So, again, we'll go into that in this video. And so before I do, I just want to say that I also offer SEO services, and I also offer topical mapping services, and I audit websites. So you can go to my website, click on the link in the description. It takes you to my website where you can order my audit services, and you can also order my topical mapping services. So you can just click on there, buy that, accept all major credit cards and PayPal. But if you need a monthly SEO, you'd have to click on the Google Docs link, fill out the form, and I'll get in touch with you because I'll have to quote you on that. So now that we have that out of the way, let's jump right into this. So there are two things that you need to keep in mind when you're adding external links. Number first, and this is post 2022, is that if you just add external links to your website and they are just to Wikipedia or some other authoritative sources that's not directly associated with your website, it's not going to work. It's not going to add any value. And so there's a little bit of a trick to doing this, which I'll discuss in this video. But all these links are going to be no follow. So you don't want any of these to be do follow. Now, this is a little controversial, but I think whether or not your links are do follow or no follow, they're not passing much link juice anyways. If you're not an authoritative website to begin with, it's not going to be passing a lot of link juice. So this is a tweet from 2020 from John Mueller of Google, and everybody knows who he is. And he says, sure, people have been linking to Wikipedia, CNN, etc. for decades now in the hope that their low quality pages are suddenly seen as being high quality. That's not how you make high quality content. That's right. So if you're just adding links, as I said, it's not going to work. And this is what he said in 2020. But in 2020, interestingly, this was working very well. And it's those people who was implementing this in 2020, they suddenly found out after subsequent updates that this does not work as well anymore. And so it kind of became a controversial topic. So now, just a few days ago, John Mueller posted again, and he said, nothing happens, why should it? So someone asked him, if I should add external links to authoritative sources on my site. He said, nothing happens, why should it? This has been one of those things that SEOs have claimed hope since literally decades. Here's my affiliate site about handbags, and here's a link to CNN and Wikipedia. Please take me seriously now. Tweet links like content. Does this link provide additional unique value to users? Then link naturally. Is this link irrelevant to users? Then don't link to it. Name dropping a dictionary doesn't make your spelling mistakes. Doesn't fix your spelling mistakes. So yes, that's right. So I do agree with John on this, because if you're just going to add external links, it's not going to work, mainly because adding external links is, it's a good practice, but just adding them because you think that they're going to improve your rankings, it's not the right approach, even though, as we'll examine, it does improve your rankings. So what does Google really want? So it needs to be, number one, needs to be a relevant link. Number two, it needs to provide additional value. And number three, it needs to be natural. Now, by natural, I don't know what they mean by natural. All links I add to my website are perfectly natural, but I have no idea. Maybe they mean that you shouldn't just force a anchor text onto your site. There are two things I look at when I'm linking out now for the past year or so, because this has changed with subsequent algorithmic updates. Is number one, if I have a website about dog food, I'm not linking out to another website that's about dog food. I'm not linking out to Wikipedia, that's just a general article about dog food. Now, this is very different from doing it in schema. I covered this in another video on how to do this in schema, and schema is a totally different thing. So don't conflate both of these issues. If you're doing it on your website, it's very different from doing it in schema, totally different issue. But if you're going for external links on your website, so the first thing you need to make sure is that it complements your content. So if you're writing an article about dog food, probably you might want to have a list of trusted manufacturers on your website, and then you have a no-follow link that goes or links to the manufacturer's website, where the products that you're talking about on your page or on your website broadly, are sold. So it's just perfectly fine. Google doesn't see that as you being selling links, but some people go that far and they are selling links that way. But it adds value, at least in my experience, if it's a genuine link, and it helps people, because a lot of people are reading the article, they might say, XYZ dog food is good for your dog who doesn't have great digestion. So they might click on the link and they'll go to the manufacturer's page, and they will want to find out more about it, because you can't write a lot about it. The second thing you can do is, other than just link to the manufacturer's page, you can probably find a page on the website that goes into more of the nutritional content of that type of food. And so people can read more about that. Now, usually that's a PDF in my experience if it's dog food, but you can, just even link to the PDF, and, so it's providing value. So that's the first criteria, is you find what's value, what will add value to that page. Think about who will be reading that page, and then what external links they will find valuable based on what your content is. And this needs to be pre-planned. You can't just do this willy-nilly. The second thing you want to do is, before you link to a manufacturer's site or anybody else's site that you think adds value, check their website. Check if Google even sees their website as being authoritative, or even being a genuine website, because a lot of websites Google just sees as being spammy websites. So even though it is a manufacturer site, it might not really do very well in Google. So the best way to do that is do a brand search in Google. Go in incognito mode. Do a brand search. If they pop up number one, that's the right brand. Now, there are not a lot of knockoff brands too, so you need to be very careful. Do not link out to a knockoff brand. The second type of links that are really good for improving your rankings is a governmental website. So if you're linking out, if you, let's say, have a legal article, or you have an article about accident lawyers, or you have an article about how to pass your driving test, or whatever it is, if you can link out to an authoritative source in the government, that's always good. But link to an article on the governmental website that adds value to your existing content, so that people can learn more about it on the governmental website. So that's criteria number two. And criteria number three is, I always personally like to check the PADA of the website. Now, I know it's not a big ranking factor, but I would like to link to a website that has the highest domain rating, because I know that this is the best website to link to in terms of, associating myself with a credible source, and then, just do that. So there are three things. Now, again, I'm not going to go into like how many links you should have on your site. But I'm going to say very clearly that you can have a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen links to manufacturers or other authoritative sources on your website, and you will not be penalized. So as long as Google sees them as authoritative, as you see them as being authoritative or adding value to your content. And the way Google sees that, it is looking at your keywords, it is looking at the keyword clusters, the LSI keywords in your article. And so what you can do is you can take all the LSI keywords in your article and you can search and see which are the top 3 or 4 websites that are ranking, and which of those websites, you know, it will add value to your content the most, and then put a link through your website to those websites, or the content on their websites more specifically, so not just the homepage URL, but the exact URL that will add value to your website. So as I said, this is something that will take practice. If you've not been practicing this, you need to come up with what's called an external link map. Whenever you write an article, come up with an external link map. Try to figure out what will be the best places to add your link and the best places to link to externally, and do it from that. So I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.